I just finished praying Shacharit here in Yosemite. And I had a few feelings, a few thoughts about the Shabbat, about this weekend. I know I'm not there to give my regular Sunday morning foundations class, but I hope that these few words might let you feel how I'm feeling. Yesod HaChasidut v'shoresh ha'avodah, says Rabbi Yonatan Halevy, the Ramchal, the foundation of our faith, of our righteousness. Hu shitbarer v'tamet etzel hadam, that it should become clear and true to a person. Ma chovato b'olamo, what is my purpose in this world? Why was I here? What is the purpose that Hashem created me for? Because if Hashem didn't need me for something, I wouldn't have woken up today in the morning. If Hashem didn't need you for something, you wouldn't have woken up today in the morning either. And oftentimes in life, I've always tried to say, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to do this, I want to do that. But life blows you in different ways, like a leaf that's blown in the wind. You know, the old Hasidic masters would come to places like this to pray, to do tefillah. They have stories of the Baal Shem Tov coming over to a tree and saying, there are sparks of holiness that have to be released from a tree. And he would pray and those sparks would return to their source. I'm no Mikubal and I'm definitely not the Baal Shem Tov. And one of the famous Hasidic rabbis writes that those of us who are just simple people, we don't know where the sparks are hiding, we don't know where we're supposed to go, Hashem puts us always in the right place, in the right time, to release whatever sparks need to be released in that place. And some days I feel like that. Like Hashem blew my life in one direction, and then in another direction, and then in a different direction, because that's where HaKadosh Baruch Hu needed me at that moment. And I'm sure that everybody has felt that at some point in their life. I am exactly where I need to be. You know, at Shiviti, we have our foundations class, our bedin for conversion. And it's an interesting niche to be in, it's an interesting place to be in. If you would have met me a few years ago, I would have told you, I don't do conversions. But then, at the asking of Rav Peretz, I studied the halachot, I flew to Yerushalayim, I took the tests, I received the ordination, and it lay dormant for a while. But at the time that Hashem needed, all of a sudden things blew up. For the good. My door literally was knocked and knocked and knocked. And there's this approach, this philosophy at Shiviti of, conversion takes different times for different people, different lengths. Everybody's different. Everybody's an individual. There's no protocol. There's no rules. There's halachot and there's Hashem and there's a relationship which we try to develop. Knowledge we try to pick up. But there's one thing that doesn't change. And that is our commitment that no matter where a person is at, we will hold a person's hand and walk them to that finish line. We are committed to making sure that every person joins Am Yisrael the way their neshama needs to join Am Yisrael, without compromising on even one iota of halakha. But to make that experience a beautiful experience. To make that experience an experience of, wow, I just met Am Yisrael. I just met a Talmid Chacham in Am Yisrael. Somebody who's not after my money, somebody who's not after power, somebody who's not after intimidating me or scaring me or frightening me. I hear people, they go stand in front of the Bedin and they're trembling in fear for the 2 weeks before the Bedin. That's the way a Bedin talks. That's the way a Bedin looks. We have a different approach. We have the same rules, the same halachot. But to create an experience that is beautiful, that is a Kiddush HaShamayim, that makes a person feel, Am Yisrael wants you. Sure, there's what it takes. But Am Yisrael wants you. Because you're always a part of Am Yisrael. Our neshamot, we're always one. And now we are the task, we're not the gatekeepers of Am Yisrael. We're the ones with the task of reuniting people with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with His people. Being away for Shabbat and being with a family and many more families of people who have discovered HaKadosh Baruch Hu on their own. Literally like our forefather Avraham Avinu, who tried this and tried that and looked at the moon and looked at the sun and looked at the stars and decided there must be something greater than all of this. There must be something bigger than what the world is telling me there is. People who found HaKadosh Baruch Hu the way Avraham Avinu did, years, 40 years, to look for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then say, I want to join Am Yisrael. And to have that ability to say, come, we welcome you with open arms. We love you, we care about you. Because you're one of us. Imagine if one of your siblings, a brother, a sister, was kidnapped, chas v'shalom, for 2 years, for 10 years, for 200 years, for 2,000 years, doesn't really make a difference. How happy would you be to see that brother or sister come home? Would you ever have the chutzpah, the ugly approach of treating a person like a second-class citizen? Prove yourself to me. Prove to me that you're really my brother. There are people today that are in the world of giyur, in the world of conversion, and like I mentioned before, some are in it just for the money. There are people pay me this dollar amount in cash, and tomorrow morning I could dump you in a mikveh. There are some people who are in it because they like the power trip. They like to see the people scared. They like to intimidate people. And there are people who do it l'shem shamayim, and that's what we strive every day. Hashem, allow me, shiu kol ma'asenu l'shem shamayim. Allow that everything that we do is only for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not for a penny, not to make any kind of impression on anybody, just to do what is right for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. There are people that for thousands of years never touched the concept of giyur, because in the countries which they lived, the authorities didn't allow them to do that. We are continuing a living tradition, a tradition of Judaism which brings close and not pushes people away, a Judaism that embraces, not a Judaism that kicks people, a Judaism that loves, that has a heart, that has warmth like the sun that is beating down on me, warmth like a HaKadosh Baruch Hu that puts inside of every one of us a neshama of life. And I just want to say to all those who learn with me, people say, Rabbi, you're doing me such a favor, you learned Torah with me. I cannot thank you enough for what you learned, what we learned together, what you teach me. You know, rabbis say, I learned a lot from my rabbis. I even learned a lot from my colleagues, from the other rabbis that I studied with. But I learned from my students even more. The zechut, the honor is really mine. Every Sunday when I come to that class, Foundations, and this Sunday when I miss it, there's a part of my heart that's missing. Because I have the merit to sit down with brothers and sisters that are coming back home. I never in my life dreamt that Hashem would blow me in the direction, that I would have that opportunity to say, welcome back to Am Yisrael. We are alive, we've been through so much, and we're welcoming everyone back. That honor is mine, truly mine. And anyone who's out there who's listening, whether you're in my bedin or in any other bedin in the world, to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves Am Yisrael. Ahavti itchem amar Adonai. And if HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves Am Yisrael, and Am Yisrael loves you, and you join Am Yisrael, what more love can you ask for, both from HaKadosh Baruch Hu and from Am Yisrael? My blessing is that everybody should make it to that finish line together. That we should make it, that we should grow in a life of Torah, of mitzvot, of yirat shamayim, of connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And together, we'll all hold hands. Na'aleh la'artzenu, says the famous singer, the Paitan, we'll go up to our land, b'shira u'v'zimra. We're singing, we're dancing, with our head held up high. V'holichenu me'era komimiyut la'artzenu. Hashem, take us to the land of Israel, standing up high. No more beatings, no more inquisitions, no more holocausts, no more crusades. We want to go back home with our head held up high. And B'ezrat Hashem, as beautiful as this galut is, it's a gorgeous place, but it's not home. One day we're all going to hold hands, and just like we were welcomed into Am Yisrael, we'll be welcomed into the land of Israel, together with the Mashiach, with the Redeemer of Israel, who will reunite us with Hashem of Israel. God willing, we should see that day very, very soon. Shalom.